Oh, I'm live. Wow. Um, I was kind of like practicing what I was going to talk about, but I'm already live. So, I guess this whole live thing will post to my channel when I'm done because I don't think anyone's going to watch this right now. But, I just got home from watching a screening of the movie Dominion. And, if you guys have not heard of the movie Dominion, if you haven't talked about it amongst your friends, the movie Dominion. It's basically exploiting the exploitation that happens in the animal agriculture industry. Not even so much the animal agriculture industry, but the fur industry, the entertainment industry, and the pharmaceutical industry. It basically just like exploits the fuck out of what's been going on. And 2 years ago, I watched Cowspiracy, and along with like other YouTube activism videos, and that basically was enough for me to go vegan. And I watched Dominion today, and I don't think I've ever cried. I don't think I've ever been so angry. I don't think I've ever been so like emotion full over a movie in my entire life. Like, there is no way, like, and I'm still in disbelief too, because like what I'm about to say is like there's no way like this stuff is going on, and it is. And like I sat there for 2 hours and watched a documentary about what was going on, and I'm still like in disbelief because first of all, how is this like legal for one? Two, still going on in the magnitude that it is. And three, how public it is and how desensitized we are as a society to what is going on. So much to the point to where these animals are being slaughtered by the billions for a sandwich or for some eyelashes or for your fucking birth control. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I don't think I've ever been so mind blown or so shocked from a movie in my entire life. Documentary. I keep calling it a movie. It's a documentary. But I don't even know. I'm lost for words. Like, it was a 30-minute drive home, and I just like was speechless. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm still speechless, clearly, but there's just no way. There's no way. And if this is what it is, which I know it is, and I know I'm being like, um, I don't even know the word for it, but basically I'm just looking over the situation. Like, I'm being desensitized essentially because like it cannot be this intense this much. Like, it just cannot. It can't. Like, wow. If you aren't vegan already, please go vegan. Please stop eating animals. Please stop wearing the fake eyelashes. Stop going to the zoos. Stop going to SeaWorld. Stop. The, just, if you're on certain medications that you feel like you need, I'm not going to be the person to be like, stop taking them, but talk with your doctor and look at alternative holistic medication. Like, do your part as a vegan and continue to be an activist for these animals who do not have a voice. And essentially, they do have a voice. We just can't understand what they're saying. These animals don't want to die. They don't want to be exploited. They don't want their throat slit. They don't want to be raped, tortured, beat. Like, they don't want that. And Another thing that I'm also a little upset about too. This is kind of turning into a rant slash review slash shock factor, but the employees who work for these establishments, just from the documentary that I viewed, these people, it almost like psychologically, it was like they were getting some sort of rush from torturing and slaughtering these animals. It wasn't necessarily like throat slit into the bin, go to slaughter. Like, although that's the humane way, because apparently, allegedly, slaughter for animals is done humane. That's a different topic. But it was almost like these people were getting a rush. Like they were literally like the looks on their faces were almost cynical when they were like kicking and slamming these poor little piglets on the ground, these chickens and ducks and the sheep and the mink, and they were just slamming these animals on the ground as if they were nothing, and they were just like hooting and hollering and calling them cunts and bitches, and like just the looks on these people's faces when they were doing these things to these animals was like they got like they were satisfied with it, like they got gratification, like they enjoyed what they were doing. It wasn't like I have to go work at the slaughterhouse because that's my job and unfortunately that's what I have to do. It wasn't anything like that. It was like they enjoyed what they were doing. And that was the really unnerving part, is because this industry will still continue to be what it is, not only from the people who support it, but from the people who continue to work it. I think a lot of what like the slaughterhouse, like how a lot of that could stop is from people refusing to do this line of work. If people aren't going to work in like in the slaughterhouses, if they're not going to do the work, then there cannot be production. Um, I don't think we've reached the day and age to where they can replace the people with robots or machines, which a lot of the production in animal agriculture is done by machines anyways. They have electric blades that slit chickens' necks and gas chambers that lower them down, or little barrels that turn them and stuff. There's different ways that they use the machines, but I still think a lot of it, like the people who slaughter these animals, I think if they were also to band together with animal activism and make that a part of their activism, refusing to torture and slaughter these animals. But then again, a lot of these people, just from the video that I watched, get a rush from this. Like, this is something that they enjoy doing. So, I don't know where this video is going. I'm just really upset. I am so upset. Like, I don't know what else I could do. And I mentioned this before to a group of friends. I feel helpless. I feel like there's nothing that I can do. And I feel like what I have been doing is not enough. And I know I shouldn't be so hard on myself about it, but just seeing that documentary, it was 2 hours of just different situations that these animals have to go through to get on your plate, to get in that enclosure, to get into your pillows, into your blankets and your coats and sleeping bags and stuff. Like how these animals go from being born into captivity, tortured, beaten, starved, their entire life, which has been shortened exponentially just for the satisfaction of having these consumerist things. Like, there's so many alternatives that you could do that doesn't require murder or torture or exploiting. There's so many alternatives. Like, I'm exhausted. I've never done this live thing before. And like I said, nobody's going to be watching it. There's nobody here. So it's just been a 10-minute ramble of me rambling. But if you haven't seen Dominion, you should go see it. It's a very highly anticipated movie. I don't know if a lot of people have, whether you're vegan or not, but I'm not too sure if there's been a lot of people who have looked online at PETA's website or I think it's like From Farm to Table, I want to say, but basically there was like little short clips that were leaked, and no one knew where they were being leaked from. Those were the clips that were going to be put together to create Dominion. So if you've watched video clips from PETA, a lot of PETA's clips that they've gotten that were leaked were pretty identical with what was on that movie Dominion. And I don't know if anyone's paid attention to those clips on PETA. They were maybe 5 to 20 seconds long, and when it got to the really, really intense part, it would just stop, or it would be like a continuation or something like that. Literally, Dominion was everything that PETA didn't show. So I don't know if this movie is going to be considered legal in states. I don't know if it's going to get banned. I don't know if they're just not going to show it. I don't know, but I need for that movie to be seen by anyone and everyone. And I'm also going to do a disclaimer about the movie documentary. I don't think you should see that movie if you are not mentally prepared. I think that movie requires a great deal of mental preparation. I think if you're ready to know the truth, I think you should definitely see that movie. Every time I say movie, you know I mean documentary. But it was just very intense. It was very intense. The most intense film I have ever watched. As well. Excuse me. But it was the most intense thing I've ever seen. And in no way, shape, or form will I ever, like, not be vegan. I don't care what happens. There's nothing on this planet that could possibly happen for me to not be vegan. And I've even considered, like, survivalist type thing, like if I have to hunt for it. I don't know, that's a different topic too. But industrial commercial production of meat, dairy, eggs, clothing, I don't know, I can't. Like, the dairy industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, by the way. And don't sue me, internet, or who don't sue me in general, because I don't want to be sued. But they collect, or the cats are outside my house arguing, like they're fighting. But they collect a liter of amniotic fluid that comes from the cow, like giving birth, that fluid. They collect it put it in liter containers, and sell it for over $600 to the pharmaceutical companies. What the fuck are you gonna do with a liter of amniotic fluid from a cow? Obviously, it's something very important because I don't know like, a liter isn't that big. So if someone's buying a liter of something for $600, it has to be precious for whatever they plan on using it with. So if you're into the vaccinations, if you're into the pharmaceutical drugs, be mindful that a lot of that stuff, a lot of the vaccines, a lot of the birth control, a lot of the medications come from the exploitation of animals, whether it's coming from the fetuses of pigs or the fluid from the cows giving birth or limbs being pulled off from mice or clinical trials tested on bunnies. And honestly, it's been scientifically proven that we don't share the same genes or DNA with these animals that they're testing these products on anyways. So there's really no point in testing these pharmaceutical drugs on these animals because we don't share their DNA. We don't share anything in common with them other than the fact that we live on this planet. It's the only thing that we share in common with these animals. So there's no reason why we should be testing pharmaceutical drugs, etc., on these animals to use on humans. And I get maybe back in the day where they swore up and down we all had the same genes of monkeys, so they were testing things on monkeys because we all were like monkeys basically. Darwinism and evolution and blah 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 is responsible for the reason why people test on monkeys. Still not understandable, but it was logical at that time. But now that we're in a day and age and we realize that we still don't share the same DNA, even with a monkey or a rabbit or a mouse or a bunny or a bunny and a rabbit, all the same. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm just lost for words. I am so shocked. My septum is itching me too because I just got it pierced not too long ago, so I'm trying to not itch it. But that has nothing to do with anything. I just don't want people thinking my nose is doing some weird things. I may end up deleting this or privating it or something. But I do think people should watch the movie Dominion. I really do. I've said it like maybe 3 or 4 times already, but if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. Please. It's for rent online. You can also buy it. It's on, like, you can rent the movie for $1, I'm pretty sure, or you can buy it for $5. You'll always have it. I was also told that it'll be on Netflix very soon. You can do that too. Just please see the movie. It's so important that you watch that documentary. It's so important. And be prepared for it too. Be mentally prepared for it because it's intense. It's very intense. I don't think anyone could go out from that movie and not consider veganism or a plant-based diet. There's no way. If you watch Dominion and you still continue to eat meat, dairy, and eggs, you're either very desensitized or you got something going on up here and you really need to get checked out because there's no way. Like, you can't kill anything that doesn't want to die. And these animals don't want to die. The look of fear in these animals' eyes that, like, you get to see that the movie is so raw and uncut. Like, you get to literally see the fear in these poor animals' eyes. Like, you can see them and they are terrified. And, like, it's bringing tears to my eyes again because, like, you literally, like, you can see them and they're terrified. Like, I don't think I've ever seen something so afraid in my life before. Like, just watching that firsthand was, it's very intense and it's very scary because it's like at this given moment right now while I'm filming this, this is happening. Like, it's happening and it's legal and it's okay and it's glorified. Like, old MacDonald had a farm type of glorified. It's glorified. You don't hear or see the ugly truth and what it does to the environment, what it does to the people who eat it, what it does, like, it's so terrible. Animal agriculture is the worst thing on the planet. It's terrible. It makes me so mad because how is this stuff legal? How is it okay to slaughter animals at an astronomical rate for what? They're not overpopulating the earth. They're not going to take over the planet or the world. They're not nutritious. They're not doing anything but trying to live and survive and just be on this planet like we are. And for some reason, we see them as food. We see them as entertainment. We see them as clothing. We see them as anything other than animals. Like how people see their dogs and cats and birds and goldfish and stuff, but they'll go out and get sushi, but will go home and feed their betta fish. Anything that has a heart, brain, lungs, circulatory system, blood, can breathe, does not need to be dead, does not deserve to die or to be murdered. Right, Booby? And it just makes me really happy because every day I am so grateful for this little pooch because I rescued him and I was able to save his life. And I look at him every day and I'm so grateful that I have him. And he's ready for me to go downstairs. So I'm also gonna have to end this video. It's a 23-minute video. Get down. Get down. He's so rambunctious. Thank you for the people who decided to watch this. Bless you. Ow! Oh, thank you for the people who decided to watch this. My dog just stepped on my boob and it hurt so bad. But thank you all for watching. I hope you take the time to go and watch Dominion. If you don't, you can start off with something small like Cowspiracy or just stop eating animals, period. It's better for your health. It's better for the environment. It's better for the beings who don't want to die. So just keep that in mind. Nothing wants... Nothing... Okay. Now I'm getting like all tongue twisted and tongue tied because I'm just ready to get off this thing. But you can't kill anything who doesn't want to die. It's murder. It's absolutely murder. No. No. I don't approve. So, vegan forever. Have a lovely one. Love you guys so much. I don't know how to end this. Share. Can I share it? Share it to Twitter? Is this still recording? Oh, it's still recording. Wow. I was able to go share it to Twitter and then come back and it's still recording. I don't know what I'm doing here. But I just saw 444, which is a good sign too. So Hope you guys enjoyed this little weird tidbit type of thing. If anyone watches it. If no one watches it, then whatever. If someone does watch it, if you're watching this, if you made it this far, go watch Dominion. Go vegan. Stop eating meat. Stop eating dairy. Stop wearing fur. Stop going to zoos. Go to animal sanctuaries. If you want to see an animal that bad, go to the animal sanctuaries. There's some around in your area, I guarantee you. If there's not one anywhere nearby, save your money and take a trip one day. Don't make excuses for yourself and go to a zoo because an animal sanctuary is nowhere nearby. Like, don't be that person to make excuses. Like, you're just still desensitizing yourself and your children and your children's children to just be okay with how things are, and it's not okay. And I think that is the way we can start making change, is actively showing that we're not okay with how things are. I think for a long for a long time people were just okay with how things were because they didn't know. So I think my purpose is to spread awareness, to have more people know, to be more aware of what's going on because it is so important. So yeah, for the 40th time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want. If not, too bad. You're gonna be missing out on some great ass motherfucking content. Okay, bye.